The first ARM-based product was developed by the UK-based Acorn Computers in the early 80s. It was a coprocessor to be used in the popular BBC microcomputer. After the tape-out period, ARM received its first CPU back from the Silicon Foundry and began testing it. When testing for power draw, the chip was connected to a power supply with an ammeter in between the two. Although Acorn was expecting the chip to be low power, they did not expect what followed. The CPU was running, but the ammeter read 0. It turned out they had forgotten to connect the CPU to the power supply, and yet the chip was still running. Astonishingly, the ARM chip was so low power that it was running through the signal inputs of the test board. It was drawing 1/10 of a watt. Although in 1984 ARM's low-power design had no significant advantages, it later became one of the keys to the success of the platform with the release of the Apple Newton, which used an ARM CPU. And just like today, back in those days, having Apple as your customer meant credibility with the rest of the industry. And even though the Newton was a commercial failure, ARM had established themselves as the go-to company for low-power chips, and soon after they would be powering the mobile phones of the largest mobile manufacturer of the 90s, Nokia.